Yeah, Max! Oh, hey there! It's Cathro. Welcome to Leogang for round 3 of the World Cup. We're going to go inside the tape, I think. Or the poles, inside the poles, maybe? I don't know, the riders don't know. But we're going to go down there and we're going to see who's going good, who's going fast, who's going on the tracks, and then we'll ghost a bit. And I promise you it won't be the stumps. Again, for the 16th time. So let's go! This way! So let's give you a quick breakdown, top to bottom of the Leogang tracks. You go out the start gate, there's a few off-piste corners and off cambers, and it mixes between fresh, grassy dirt trail, and then you go onto bike parky, hard-packed berms. And then there's a big traverse, it heads across the hill, carrying speed, staying out the wind. There's jumps, there's man-made rock gardens, there's tunnels, yes, tunnels. Then you work your way down the hill, more corners, more turns, more bike park, braking bumps, holes, stumps, loads of stumps, more stumps than you would ever think is possible before you jump out into the famous motorway section. You've got to carry speed onto that. There's wooden booters which send you super far, or there's the dirt takeoffs that are shorter, but a race piece can send you too far. Motorway, carrying speed, speed tucked, till you get to the massive wall ride where you then jump out and dive back into the lower woods. And now this is where things get steep in tech. The dirt here is slicker, it's darker, there's more grit to be found when it's dry, but when it gets wet it gets greasy in here. There's roots, there's steeps, there's steps, there's ruts. It's super hard to stay online, not get bucked offline, and also watch out for the line choices. There's high lines, there's low lines. There's ruts that can carry speed, there's off cameras that can catch you out. And when you're getting down here, you're super tired. It's been so physical. You've got to stay composed, stay smooth, keep things flowing, and then jump out of the woods, the massive step down, rail round the next corner, into the next bit. It gets the most difficult corner on the entire track. Get cleanly through that, send the massive finish line jump, and that is a lap of Leogang. So let's jump back up to Ben, who's up at the top of the track, but I think there's been a red flag. So we don't often get an opportunity to go on track, but the red flag's out. This corner looks like riders just come in and they just have to do a turn, but there's actually like a big braking bumps, like a 4-foot drop into a super tight turn that then goes off camber and gravelly. So hard to commit to this, to get the angle right, to then let it run and gap into the next corner. So there was rain overnight, so some bits like the off camber are nice and tacky, it's good, but some bits, bike parky, it's just powder, dust, gravel. This is loose. You get a little bit of bite when you press in, but you get to a point where the tires just let go and it goes. So you've got to be cautious on these kind of turns. Try and set up nice and wide, try and arc your turns and not be too aggressive with it. There's a big red flag course hold on at the moment.
Avoid red flags and other course interruptions with Cathro Trail Building Services. Perfectly crafted jumps for racers and average punters alike. Say goodbye to steep jumps, medical bills, and injured rider legal fees. Contact Cathro Trail Building Services today.
There's a lot of wind right now, and the red flag has been down on the motorway, and it's a mad tailwind. And the thing about those jumps is once you get up to speed, it's easy to overshoot them. With a tailwind, you can have an extra 2-3 miles an hour, and it can just send you further than you expect. I hope that's not what's happened, because that can lead to a really bad crash or injury, but wind affects this track quite a lot. Tailwind sends you real fast, headwind slows you down a lot. Let's hope it's not going to be too effective to the racing, but right now it's windy. At the bottom of this rocky section, there's 2 obvious lines going into that right-hander. It's a tight right-hander, it's got a crest and a drop in it, so the common assumption is set up wide, because it's tight. The wider the corner, the faster you can go around it. But to get into this, you have to do a setup on the way in. So like, when there's lots of lines that link together, you always figure out what you're doing on the last one, and that helps you make the decisions on the way up, as Troy almost goes too far right on the way into it. The inside line is actually super smooth and consistent into it, and it does make it tighter, but there's no big steps. The wide line has a big step right as you hit the catch. That's a big impact to take as you're trying to turn, so it makes it more difficult, even though it's a wider setup. So not setting up, heading straight in and getting the smoother corner, even though it's tighter, seems to be working. So in this section here, the kind of default that people used to do is they would come over here, try and gap this stump, soak up the next crest and into the next corner like that. And it's super quick. Oh! But the way the track's developed this year, the way they've maybe repaired the hole that used to be on the side of that, it's allowing people to do that, which is push down off of this one and then gap into what used to be a hole. You get a good pump out of it and it gives you good speed into the next section. But you can just roll everything and do it really quick as well. So in terms of line choice, you have to choose where you go left to right, but you also have to choose where you put pressure and where you go light, where you gap. Do you gap off the first one, like that? Do you roll the first one and gap the next one? It's like so many different choices, and that's why sections like this are so interesting. Did you see the exit speed?
Okay, we can go now.
Is that good, Remy? Yeah. We're gonna go back up, we're gonna ghost the new left-hand turn in the grass. It's very rare that we get new sections of track in Leogang, and this is one of very, very few. It's a wide open grassy turn. It used to go down the kind of bike park to the rider's left, and now we're going out in the open grassy field, open hillside where the cows have been grazing and doing their toilets. It's really nice, really wide, and we're like, oh, lines are going to develop here. But there's different approaches. Some riders are coming in super precise, trying to hold it tight. Other riders are just coming in full speed, letting it run, drifting out wide, but they're arcing the turn really nice. So let's have a little look, break down the section, we'll get the ghost out and see if it makes any difference. Because it might, but it might not. What do you look for when you're scouting?
The best line, the fastest line.
Okay, and what's the Fabian line?
The Fabian line, it's actually not the one that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the line that will suit actually the riders, our bikes, and the correct pace for the run. So it's not always my favorite, and I try to analyze, I would say, the more rationally what I can, and then we discuss with the athlete to have their subjectivity also with each passage and try to compose the best run we can. And in this case here, if you look like behind you, you have really two options, but you can hear the amount of braking that they can do. Instead of being very digital, you can hear a lot of rider dragging the brakes, and you know that it's not what you want to do when you're racing.
Here we go, it's ghosting time. We've got Asa Vermette, one of the fastest dudes on the planet. He goes inside, and then we got Ollie Clark. He goes middle to the little bonk nosedive and then rails around the corner. So look at this speed of Ollie, because he knows he was heading wide and he didn't have to be precise. He was able to come into the corner way quicker, but he kind of goes middle. I don't know if he intended that, and he absolutely nose taps the rock, but look at his speed. He's still in front because he came in so quick, and he takes this section by 0.2 over Ace. Now we have Gracie Hemstreet. She was the fastest from last week. She was absolutely flying, and she's on that inside line, got really good. But Nina Hoffman came motoring into here, big nosedive, let it run around the outside, slapped that corner. Now look at the speed of Nina nosediving and front wheel casing the edge of the corner, but look at it. She's got 2 bike lengths on Gracie as Gracie steers for that inside wrap, hits the catch, and now Nina is trying to fight her way back across. She would have been dragging her brakes as she was trying to turn back up, but look, it's not slowed her down enough. She gets to the finish, and it's 0.13 to Nina, but Gracie was catching her at the end. Oh, here we go. We got big boy Bruni. Look at him, big boy Bruni round the bout side there. And now we got Andreas Kolb. He just doesn't take any of the lines. He goes inside to middle. This is going to be interesting. Look, it's actually super even as they go off of the drop. To Andy, look at him. He doesn't hit the catch. He's like, I don't need a catch. I'm Andy. And he goes into the middle as Bruni's round the outside. But Bruni looks like he might be catching him. He's catching up Andreas as they get to the line. He's not going to do it. It goes to Andreas Kolb by 0.16. Now, we often get people complaining I'm not doing enough ghosts. So what I did is I took some ghosts, I made some more ghosts, and then I put them back into the machine, and we've made the ultimate turbo quad ghost. Look at this. There's all of them. It's all of the men. It's all the juniors and the elite boys. So look, looks like Kolb's in the lead. Ollie is actually doing really good. He does the nose bonk as Bruni's swinging around the outside. Ace is just chilling up the inside. I think he might have actually been on a cruiser on this run, but that doesn't matter. Who's in the lead? It looks like it's Kolb. And how much is he going to take it by? And are the juniors closer? No, it looks like it's Kolb to Bruni to Ollie to Asa. Who would have thought it? The fastest person won. They always seem to do it, those sneaky buggers. I hope you enjoy watching that. Hope the ghost worked, and stay tuned for Story of the Race, which will be coming out post-race, obviously. Make sure you watch the race if you can, and we'll see you in the next video. And we're going to go make it now, like right now. Quick, Charlie, quick, go faster. Make the gondola go faster. Oh God.